All right, take millions from the Saudis and the sports media will burn you in effigy. Take billions from the Chinese and the sports media will effectively turn a blind eye. Double standard is shocking, but it's not really surprising. Case in point, golf legend Greg Norman took millions from the Saudis to start a new golf league. This whole thing about Saudi Arabia and Khashoggi and human rights, talk about it, but also talk about the good that the country is doing in changing its culture, he said. Media didn't really like that comment. Look, we've all made mistakes, referring to the Saudis killing somebody, and you just want to learn by those mistakes and how you can correct them going forward. Of course, killing people is wrong, but by most measurable standards, Saudi pales in comparison to China. Jason Nichols, senior lecturer at the University of Maryland, host of the podcast Vince and Jason Save the Nation, with us now. All right, we put up the picture of what the Chinese are doing to the Uyghurs, loading them on trains in the exact same way the Nazis exterminated the Jews. The NBA and NFL go to China, and nobody seems to really care that much. Greg Norman takes some money from the Saudis to start a golf league, and he's public enemy number one.
Well, first of all, Leland, I think you're understating some of the things that the Saudis are doing around the world, particularly in Yemen, where people are literally starving to death. So I think you're understating that a little bit. I also think that you're saying nobody cares about what China is doing and about the NBA and their relationship with China. And I think we've seen consensus on the left and the right on this issue. Ted Cruz spoke about it. Beto O'Rourke, a current gubernatorial candidate, he's spoken out, as has Julian Castro.
But nothing's changed, right? The NBA is still getting billions of dollars from China, and LeBron's still selling a bunch of jerseys and not talking about it. The NFL's got the LA Rams as the home team to China.
Sure. No, I think that their, money is somewhere where we're going to agree that it trumps a whole lot of other things. So I think you start to see people lose that kind of consciousness once dollar signs are involved. But I don't think that, Greg Norman's relationship with the Saudis is much different. And he's gotten criticism, but that's not going to stop his relationship with the Saudis.
Or Phil Mickelson or any of these guys.
Right. They're all going to move forward.
Has the media done the American people a disservice? Because money talks for them as well. You think about it, ABC News will never criticize China because they're owned by Disney, and the Disney theme parks in China bring in huge bucks when they're open, as do the subscription services. NBC Universal has the Olympics, of course, and they're not going to criticize China because of the sponsorships that come along with the Olympics and movie rights. CBS is owned by Paramount, huge movie distribution inside China. Is there a double standard of the coverage because of how much China controls?
Well, I think that, what I've seen, particularly from individual people who can speak out, people have spoken out about China. Is there going to be a particular position of some of these networks? I'm not so sure that there should be. I think that one of the things that's good is when journalists make journalistic statements. And I think the American people also have to be interested in what's going on in China and what's going on in Yemen and in other parts of the world.
People are interested, though, in what they're told to be interested in about. And if ABC, NBC, and CBS are not covering these stories for business reasons, and I've seen that happen, then how are the American people know to be concerned?
Well, I think you are correct that, money talks. I think that people should be informed. But, in terms of the positions that people take, I think we should have open dialogue on all of these issues. One of the things that we've seen, and particularly in the media, is we're very selective about what kind of political content and what kind of political statements we'll accept and which ones we won't. So we've seen people who have been very critical of Greg Norman, and then people who have been very critical of Colin Kaepernick, but then both sides will call themselves free speech absolutists. It's kind of strange there.
We like to think of ourselves as the exception to the rule, and I'm not going to give you time to argue with me. It's good to see you, Professor.
Thank you. Thank you, Leland.
All right, good to see you. Always a fun conversation. We'll be right back. Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.